Good morning, boys and girls. So this week we are starting to multiply three factors. If you can see my screen here, I have 1, 2, 3 different factors that we're going to be multiplying. Now, you can choose how to group your factors and it does not change the product. So the product is the answer. Same way, if I was to add 3 plus 4 plus 2, I can do, I'm going to do 4 plus 2 first. Get me 6, then I'm going to add the 3 and I get 9. Or I can do 3 plus 4 first. That gets me to 7. Then I can add 2, gets me 9. Okay, that's the associative property. We've done that before. The same rule applies for math, for multiplication. So we're going to choose which way we're going to group them. Now, if you noticed, I made some marks on my page when I wanted to group them. Those are called parentheses. So I'm going to put my parentheses right there. That means do that first. So 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, now what do I do with the rest of the equation? I bring it on down. So I'm going to bring down the multiplication sign and the 2. 12 times 2 is 24. So I did it that way first. 12 times 2, 24. If I wanted, I can do 4 times 2 first. Say, I knew that one right away. I knew that one was 8. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it down. 3 times 8, well, 3 times 8 is 24. So that's all we're doing today, really, is recognizing that it doesn't matter which way you group the factors. And you see I'm making my little parentheses. That means we're going to do those first, okay? You still get the same product. So I'm going to do another one with you guys. Clear the board. Okay, so if we have 2 times 3 times 3, that means I'm going to choose, okay, if I'm going to do my parentheses on 2 times 3, that means I have to do 2 times 3 3 times. Okay, so 2 times 3, we multiply those together, get 6. Okay, then I have to do that 3 times, so bring down this other factor right here. 6 times 3 is 18. If I do it this way, so again, see, they're the same exact equation. I'm just grouping them differently. I'm going to do 3 times 3 first. Okay, so when my parentheses are on that 3 times 3, that means I'm doing 2 groups of 3 times 3. So we'll do 3 times 3 first, gets us to 9. Bring down the other factor. 2 times 9 is 18. Products are the same. So no matter which way you do it, the products stay the same. So when you do your math book today, this is what we're going to start in. I'm going to have you do the evens. So you can go through this page, and I just did this example. And if you want to write it down, you can. You do not have to do the stop and reflect. We don't really have time to talk about that like normal. So I want you to do the even numbers on this page. That means 4. Oops. That's my first even number on this page. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, so the first ones we are just multiplying. Look for the parentheses. That's what you multiply first. So I am going to get out my whiteboard so I can show you how to do this example. 5 times 2 times 2. So I'm going to rewrite this on here. We have 5 times 2 times 2. Okay, if I look, 5 times 2 is in parentheses. So that's what I have to do first. 5 times 2, do that first. It gets me to 10. I have to do 10 2 times. 20 is my answer. Okay. You're going to practice 4, 10, and 12. I'm going to post the answer key too so you can check your work. Now, down here, you have to group the factors another way and then find each product. So, see how this equal sign is right there? That means both sides are the same. So we're just rewriting this equation over here, except instead of grouping 2 times 2 first, we're going to group the other factors. We're going to group 2 and 4 first. Okay, so 2 and 4, if I did that first, I get 8. Bring down my 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So practice on 16 and 18, and again, check the answer key. Let's turn the page here. Now, these ones are a little bit harder because they're story problems. And with story problems, I always want you to draw out a picture so you can get that picture in your head. Now, I know we're multiplying 3 factors, so you're going to have to multiply the 3. However, I want you to be able to see it. So I'm going to zoom in here. We're just going to do 20 and 22. Because that's the even numbers that we're doing. So 20 and 22. Okay. Cody walked his dog 2 times a week for 5 weeks. Okay, so I want the picture in your head, 2 times a week for 5 weeks. After every walk, Cody gave his dog 2 treats. How many treats did Cody's dog get after 5 weeks? Okay, so we're looking for the treats. So I'm going to start with that first sentence. Cody walked his dog. So 2 times a week for 5 weeks. So I want to represent that. So this is the walks. He did 2 times. So that's going to stand for the walk. Okay. And he did it 2 times. And this is 1 week. Okay. So that whole thing is a week. So he did 5 times. Okay. 2 times a week for 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Okay, I represented that. Good. After every walk, he gave his dog 2 treats. So I'm going to put something to represent the treats. So each walk gets 2 treats. Let's try to do that in a different color so you can see. Oops. Okay. So let's say, for every walk, he got 2 treats. So that's for 1 walk, he get 2 treats. The next walk, he gets 2 treats. And I'm going to show that for each one. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure I label, that's a T for treats. Okay, now I can count. How many treats did he get? Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That is how many treats he got. If I was to write this, I could say 2 times 5 times 2. That's my equation because I did 2 times 5 first, and then I multiplied each one of that by 2. And I would get 20 treats. This is just one way you can draw it. There's a lot of different ways you can. Find what works for you. Try out the apartments next on number 22. The rooms. So you're going to draw the rooms in the apartments and then the floors. Okay. Again, check the answer key for your work. I want you to answer this too. Explain the difference between finding the product of 3 times 2 times 2 and finding the product of 3 times 2 times 2. Okay. Same numbers, just grouped differently. Okay, and then boys and girls, you can, for more practice, I want you to do the homework, and this is the only thing I want to see posted. And I will also post the answer key so you can check your work, because I want you to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Okay.